Welcome back. Today I am going to replace, or I'm in the process of replacing my OME shocks, which are shot, with Bilstein 7100 shocks that are remote reservoir. Reason I'm doing this is the OME shocks just got obliterated by the heavy weight of the 6BT that I have in it. So as you can see, these are just bouncy, not really doing much good. And the rears are a little better. They at least somewhat go down, but they are a little bouncy. And they're just to that point replacing. I think I've had these on for about 30,000 miles. So I don't know what shocks on a four-wheel drive is supposed to go to, but I think that's pretty good. Hopefully these last a little longer. Plus these are 100% rebuildable as far as I know from what I've read on the old interwebs, that I can rebuild these at home. Hopefully I won't have to do that for 30,000 miles, and I'll figure that how to do that when the time comes. So because these are 2i ends and Toyota 80 series Land Cruiser uses stems on the front, and on the back has one stem, one eye, which all four ends, front and back, have to be converted in some way. Now the 7100 comes with Hind joints, which I removed. I found some bushings that I replaced those, and then I have to use the stem adapter. Now this will allow you to mount the end of the shock with the eye end on here, and then that just goes right up into the stem where the factory shock was. So you kind of got to do some math. It's not a straight swap. You got to figure out you're going to lose inch, inch and a half, 2 inches, depending on which one you buy, on both sides of the front, and on the rear you're going to lose that only on the top. So when you're ordering your shocks, you got to do a little measuring, a little bit of guesswork on my part. I think I got it right. The fronts are already on. They've been on for a month. Ride awesome. And then yesterday I finally did the rear. I got one on. The reservoir's not mounted, but so I'm putting on the last shock, and then I figure I'll do a little how-to on how I converted front and rear to make it work. So let's get into it. Alright, so first off, you need to remove the Hind joints if you're going to do it that way, and install the bushings. There is two C-clips on each side. One of them is the kind you can grab and remove easily. The other side, I don't know how you got that out, so I just banged it out with a socket. So on the end that you can grab, now if your C-clamp pliers are small enough, I mean they are tiny. The only other thing tiny like this that I've dealt with is rebuilding a turbo, and mine did not small enough, so I ground down the ends on one, but with these I just used a pick. Get in there and just kind of pull it up, work it around, and there's your C-clip that comes out easily. Now the other side here real quick. Whoop, that one went flying. Who cares? I'm not going to reuse them. Alright, so at this point I move over to the press. I'm sure you can bang that out with a socket. I find the press works just as good, even better. I have one, might as well use it. So let's move on over to the press. Alright, so to press it out, I'm using two sockets, 1 1/16 to catch the Hind joint as it falls out, and then a 9/16 as the actual to push it out. Stick it up there. Damn it. And it takes a little finagling to get it centered, and then it'll push right out. Didn't get it all the way out. There we go. So that is out. Now I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if my zoom will work good enough. But in there, let's see, wait for the focus. And there we go. You can see that last little C-clip in there. And I still have no idea what tool to get that out with without slamming it out. So if you know, comment, because I would like to invest in that C-clip plier. So now we'll do the other side and then move back over to the bench. And this is, I am using a Harbor Freight 20-ton press. And this thing works great for what it is. I think I paid, with coupons, 150 bucks. And I originally got it to push out 80 series front control arm bushings, which take a lot of force. So the press did not like pushing them out, but it worked. So definitely worth the money. All right, so both of them out. Now I'll go back to the bench and we'll bang out those C-clips. All right, so I am going to use my trusty screwdriver with a broken tip. They still have some use in the garage, so I don't throw anything away. Let's see. Alright, got hammer, screwdriver, and hopefully one good whack and it comes right out. There we go. 3 whacks. And there it is. No idea how you get that out besides what I did. And one more side. Try to get this one one whack. Nope. Alright, so 3 to 5 whacks gets it out. This one I destroyed. The other ones I could reuse if I knew what they were for. Alright, so now we have a free and clear eye ends to add bushings. Okay, so now we're to the point of adding bushings to the old eyelets. I bought this kit. Come on, focus, focus. There we go. It is part number 19-919-BL for black. You guys give them red. Simple. They're just gonna go on each side. And then I use the shock sleeve that I had laying around because the one that came with it is too small for the bolt that goes through this. So I had these laying around, I don't even remember for what, but luckily I had several of them. They even came with the kit, I don't even remember. I opened the package, this package that came with the eye thingamajiggy, the adapter. So this part's gonna slide into here. I'll press that in, and then the bolt goes in. Now the problem with these bushings I got is this is a little bit wide for this to go down. You got to take off, I don't know what that is, 1/8 of an inch, no, 1/16 of an inch off each side to get it to go down, and just a little bit of grinding on that, or at least on 2 of the 3 I had to grind. This one fits right in, so I won't have to grind this down. Now to do that, what I did was kind of move over this way. Where is it? There it is. So I don't have a belt sander or anything like that, so I make do with the good old angle grinder in the vise to make a nice little wheel, and then I kind of just push down, let it up, use the other one, grind that off until they kind of match and they fit in this doohickey. So I'm going to shut the camera off for a minute because I don't want to, this is going to throw rubber everywhere and I don't want to get it on the nice camera. So I'll be back. Alright, so grinding it down on my makeshift wheel here. There they are. I only really taken off just a little bit, enough to slide that in there. So now we will move over to the bench where I got a little more room than the dirty area that I just sprayed rubber all over. Alright, so now we're back over the bench. See if we got everything to the right measurements. I don't have to go back and do that over again. Pretty simple. You're just pushing these in on each side and then pushing in the shock sleeve. Let me get a hammer. Alright, so we have that pressed in, banged in, and hopefully it slips right on. This one went on pretty easy. A lot of times two of the other ones I just had to kind of bang on that to get the line up. Now I need to find my bolt. Bolt. Bang that through. Put the washer on. Alright, so there you have one stem to eyelet adapter, and that's damn, this thing doesn't focus worth a shit. Alright, so that's your top. This part will clamp there when I'm done, hopefully. And then now we got to work on the bottom. Now the bottom also, the bushing has to be modified a tad for the way the Land Cruiser's bottom is. I've seen some other well-lit adapters that kind of slip on, but the bushing seemed to work. Alright, so now find the bushing and back over to the drill press. Alright, so for the rear shock mount, the lower rear, it is a kind of slip-on the mount is a bolt, and so I use the same little clamshell bushing, except for the problem is I couldn't find one that had an ID of 3/4 inch or 19.5, I think is what I measured millimeter wise. So 3/4 to get over the bolt. Couldn't find that, so I was like, well, I'll just drill it out and hope for the best, see how long it lasts. So, which I use a 3/4 inch step bit. My 3/4 inch drill bit, I was afraid I would just chew that up, so I wanted to kind of ream it, and don't have a reamer, so the step bit I think works good. And the best part is that part of the bushing fits perfectly down in the drill press, just enough to keep it from spinning. I do kind of hold it with my fingers, but doesn't contract it where then I'm drilling up too much. So perfectly centered, and so we'll just drill it. Well, we need to plug it in. Alright, so let's drill away. And I kind of go down and then bring it back up just so I don't heat up the bushing and let the material get out of there. Just kind of step it down a little bit at a time before I push it all the way through. Sometimes you gotta stop to get off the little spaghetti. That should be all the way. Alright, that's all the way through. Now I have a 3/4 inch eye shock bushing, perfectly centered. Now, since I took off a little bit of material, I'm kind of anxious to see how long this takes to disintegrate on the lower rears. But till then, hey, you know, these are cheap. You can get them anywhere. Easy replacement. Better than making some sort of custom deal and then you're out on the road, you break something, you can't have it. So keep it simple. You can always find a 3/4 inch drill to drill that out. So one more to go and then we'll go back to the bench. Alright, so now I'm just gonna push these into the bottom mount, and at this moment I have a shock ready to install. Top's ready to go, bottom's ready to clamp in as well. So let's go under the vehicle now and see how that works. Alright, we are underneath. This is the rear. So that's the rear mount. As you can see, it clamps on. So a bolt comes out like this, or a shaft, and then this screws into the bolt, clamping that on there. And then got the reservoir just mounted like that. I may come up with something better. Move the reservoir up here along the cross member if I can. And then, as you can see, the top is there like that, and we have a working Bilstein 7100 on the rear. Now we'll go over to the front and check that out. Alright, so front is, the bottom is just like the rear. I use the adapter going up, and I don't know if you can see in there, that didn't work, but there is the same adapter on the top there as well. And then for mounting the reservoir, I need to get, alright, there we go. So there's the top. This is just a piece of aluminum I mounted on top of the spring perch. And then these are actually, I don't remember who made them, but they are meant to mount lights onto a roll bar. So in this situation, this is the roll bar, and that clamps it. And as you can see, the part that should hold the light it's mounted to the plate. And then it just tightens down with these two Allen head screws. But it works pretty good. I've been in the dirt a couple times and I haven't had it loosen up. And those two holes right there are already there on top of the spring perch. So you won't have to drill and tap or do anything weird. You just figure out the bolt alignment, drill your holes, cut your plate, throw it down, mount this on top of it. And there you can get a better look at the adapter there. But so there you go. That is the front install. Alright, so thanks for watching. Hopefully that helped you out if you were thinking of going the 7100, the Bilstein route. For a reservoir shock that's rebuildable, I find the price, I think I paid 189 bucks a piece from eShocks.com. There is a, I think it was 3 to 5 week build time, so don't expect to, you know, order them and then following weekend you got them, throw them on. It's not going to work that way. I think it took right at 3.5 weeks for them to get to my door. It was free shipping as well, so it turned out pretty good. And then I think with the adapters, I think per shock I'm at about $210, $215 I think per shock. So that's still well under the Fox, King, Slee, which are all I think close to $300 or even $400. But for those, I assume they're great. The install is going to be a little quicker. There's no modifications, but for me, I'm cheap. I know how to do a lot of the work myself, so it made sense for me to modify something else to adapt to here. And it's not like I'm reinventing the wheel. Plenty of people have done it. That's where I kind of copied some of the stuff that I used, you know, I found on the online forums or YouTube. So it was great. If you do something that nobody else is doing, please put it on YouTube, because I'll watch it, somebody else will watch it, and somebody will be, you may not get the thank you, but it's appreciated. So hopefully I'm returning the favor, giving somebody some ideas to either copy me or modify what I'm doing and making it better. So thank you. Subscribe to the channel, give me a like, and I'll see y'all next time from Just Another Land Cruiser. Thank you.